What's up, guys? In this video, I'm just going to be going over my swing, doing a swing breakdown, maybe why it's good and why it's not so good, and hopefully you enjoy. So first, one of the most important parts of any swing is your demeanor, the way you get in the box, how you approach the plate. And for me, I'll walk up, just a nice stride, nothing fancy, kick the dirt just a couple times, or turf, whatever it is. I'll give it a swipe because it looks cool. Grab some pine tar, couple swings around the world with the bat, touch the plate, down like this, and then I'm ready to hit. Now, one of the first things you're going to notice about my swing is that I'm really in my back leg because I'm a shorter guy. I'm like 5'8", 5'9". So if I want to get some pop on the bat, I got to really be, in my legs. That's mainly what I focus on in the gym. So my front leg's a little raised, and then I'm way back on my back leg. And then I'm just smooth. I'm just kind of rocking. Now this is what I look like. If you're facing me, if you're the pitcher, a little bit of an open stance, just so that I can, when I step, I tend to step like really far closed. So this is just going to help me kind of stay on the line, And I also feel like it gives my hips some room to work with. So I'm just open. Both eyes are facing the pitcher. That's a big thing. You don't want to be looking out of one eye, one and a half. You're going to be seeing with two eyes. Think of Ken Griffey Jr. He was way like this. He was almost like straining his neck because he wanted to see the ball. And that's the most important part of hitting, is seeing the ball, obviously. All right. So now on to the actual swing itself. So just showed you how I set up, how I'm kind of trying to feel in the box. So now we're in our stance. I'm doing circles with my bat. I'm not going back and forth, up and down, or anything. I'm doing circles. And the reason for that is it gets my hands really loose. You don't want to have stiff hands. You don't want to be like gripping the bat like you're doing like a grip strength test, because when you do that, it looks something like this. You can't get fully extended with your hands, and trust me, it doesn't feel good either if you get rung up. So what we do instead is we do circles with the bat, keeps our hands nice and loose. Front leg comes up. We're going to make sure we're coiling with our back hip into that back leg. Make sure we're staying smooth. You don't want to hit the ground hard, because then your eyes are going to drift and then you're going to miss the ball. So smooth, coil, land soft, and then go. Now with my load with my hands, I'm not thinking wrap the bat around or coil with my hands. I'm coiling my hip, right? But I'm not coiling my hands. My hands are going back, believe it or not. Now, there's some people that like to say, you need to coil and you need to just like flick your hands out, and that works for Aaron Judge because he's 6'7", but it's not going to work for me. When I'm 5'8", I can't just come down to the ball whipping my hands and coiling them. So instead, I'm going to take them back after I do my circles, take them back like I'm about to punch, like I'm getting ready to punch somebody. I'm going to punch the back wall, the back net, like that. So it should look something like this when you're actually swinging. So the next big thing I want to talk about is your posture. And that's basically how far bent over you are. So we train deadlift a lot in baseball, at least you should. And the reason for that is this setup right here. My legs are bent a little bit, my butt is back, and my chest is over a little bit. And that's so that when I come through, my bat can be at that good angle to hit the ball. We're going to get backspin. At least that's the goal. It should be your goal every single time you're at the plate, is to hit the ball hard with backspin. So it should look a little bit like this. So the next big thing we need to talk about is adjustability. And adjustability is probably the most important thing you need as a hitter, because the longer and better you get, like the longer you play and the better you get, the better the pitchers get. Because like right now, high school, at least for me, you know, it's pretty easy to assume that if I get into a hitter's count like 2-0, 3-1, something like that, I'm probably getting a fastball and it's probably going to be over the plate. And the longer you play baseball, that's not going to be the case. You're going to get an 85, 86 mile an hour slider dotted away for a strike, and you're going to have no idea what to do if you're not adjustable. So I really like to work on hitting a ball low and away, up and in, low and in, high and away, just, you know, mix it up. Even if it's not a strike, if it's something that you could put your bat on, you should probably work on it. So this is what low and away would look like. You're keeping the same exact swing, you're just changing where you're hitting the ball, and you're thinking the same exact thing. Just hit the ball hard with backspin. All right, next up is low and in. And one of the things a lot of people say with inside pitches is that, you know, it's all about hitting it out in front and turning your hands. It's not your hands really at all. Hitting an inside pitch, it's all about when you hit it and your hips. Your hips need to turn. So it should look something like this. All right, and finally we got high and in. Now, this pitch can either be a great strikeout pitch or it can be sent 400 feet over the fence. So the big thing with this one is you need to see it early out of the pitcher's hand, which is why vision is so important. And then also, you need to not, once you do see it, you need to not get big eyes. You need to stay calm, stay smooth, and trust your swing. And get on top of the ball. We don't want to be popping this up. Okay, as I pop it up. So the last thing I want to talk about in this video is how to hit velocity. And the biggest thing that I've struggled with, at least, with facing anything 85 plus, 85, 90, is that, you know, I'll try and muscle up. I'll try and grip the bat really hard, which we just talked about how that's not good. And then my stride will be big and it'll move my eyes, you know, because I'm trying to crush the ball, because I think matching velocity with power is going to result in a good thing, and it's not. And what you want to do is you want to let the ball provide the power, which I'm sure you heard, but I'll explain how that actually works. So if you got a ball coming in 90 miles an hour, okay, a ball going 90 miles an hour can go 100 yards, 300 feet, okay? So all you have to do is catch it on the barrel of your bat. You're going to hit it harder. You're going to send it back harder than it came in, and that's automatically going to make it go farther than 300 plus feet, which is obviously a pretty good hit. Now, the way to get the barrel to the ball the best when you're facing velocity is to just be smooth. Again, that's like the biggest thing I've said on this channel, is just be smooth. And don't change your swing. Stay calm. Just think up the middle. Be stupid. You know, if you're taking a round off the machine in the cage, be stupid early on 2 of them. Like, hit it off the end of the bat. You're so early. And then you can adjust from there and hit it up the middle. Now, obviously, I'm going off a tee, so this doesn't really work, but I'm just explaining it. So anyway, that's probably going to do it for this video. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one.